Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today, I wanted to break down the numbers for Season of Discovery and Cataclysm, and it is, surprising. Cata's looking pretty good and actually increased. However, Season of Discovery is not looking so good at all, and there are obviously a few reasons why. But hopefully, with the Descent to Madness coming out later tonight, it will lift those spirits. Speaking of that, I will be streaming the SoD Saviors Descent into Madness. I'm combining my Raid 1 and 2 teams, which have like 25 to 30 people, and we are going to go Descent into AQ 40, and we are going to stream it live at twitch.tv/Kaghoe Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you'd like to come by, stop by, say hello, catch the Descent. We're largely going in blind, so there's going to be a lot of progression, a lot of spicy moments, and hopefully the strategies hold and we can clear it all the way to Cthulhu. But time will definitely tell, and we'll see how it all pans out. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm going to switch it over here to the numbers, and we're going to dive right in. So here are the numbers. This is the Classic 2019 progression all the way into Cataclysm, so about 5 years of World of Warcraft. And so as you can see, Classic started off nice. It peaked around 489,000 players. If we look right here, these are the natural breakpoints. So this is when TBC launched, this is when Wrath of the Lich King launched, and this is when Cataclysm launched. So those are breakpoints for analysis and important points on this graph to point out. As I said, Classic peaked at 500,000 people just about with, I think that was BWL launch right there, or it could have been AQ, I'm not entirely sure. But as we can see, it kept going and playing, and it held at about 400 to 300,000. It dipped here towards Nax, because Nax is when it really got hard and you couldn't really do two characters at the same time, and a lot of skill the skill gap was definitely highlighted there in Nax Rambus, and so that's why it brings its average down. Then we have the Burning Crusade, where it was actually at its most stable. We had about 300 to 400,000 the entire expansion, which is actually kind of crazy to see. Obviously, towards the latter weeks of Sunwell, once Sunwell was on farm, it started to fall off, but you see like TBC being the most consistent and most solid raiding experience, and that is something that is really, really cool to see. And you know, it gives me hope that once Fresh hits TBC, we might see another resurgence of Classic WoW, and it'll be really awesome to look at. Next, we have Wrath of the Lich King. Obviously, Wrath is the most popular expansion for a variety of reasons. It peaked at a massive 626,000 players in like the third or fourth week of Nax Rambus, and then, you know, it obviously steadily goes down. We have Ulduar here, where people did pretty good. It had about 500k when it first came out, and then fell straight down, because this is where like you have hard modes, you have heroic, and it actually starts to get hard. Then we have a bound back for TOGC, which did really good. It averaged about 400,000 for the entire time it was out. Then we have ICC, where the same people were just doing these same raids, and we didn't start to see a drop off until we got towards the buff, towards ICC being at 30%. Then ICC lasted something like 20 weeks. It was kind of insane, and we start to see the population fall off at that due to attrition, due to ICC's difficulty. And then we have Cataclysm. So Cataclysm started off pretty strong at 300,000 people in the third week of raiding. This is probably when the main raiding came out. This was a buffer week where we saw only a few of the raids. This is the main raiding week, so we saw about 300,000 players peaking at 317,000. And then it has gone downhill ever since. And what is very alarming about this downward trend is if we look at all the other expansions, we didn't see this till like massive attrition due to Nax, due to Sunwell, due to ICC. As you can see, like the Catagraph is mimicking exactly what happened in like week 10 of ICC, which is very, very alarming for anyone who is playing it and enjoying it. However, Firelands brought some resurgence back, it was dwindling down to about 85 and then 50,000 players, and then Firelands brought it back up to 120k and then up to 130k people, which is really good to see. Obviously, anyone who's a fan of the classic project, whether you're playing it or not, you want to see these numbers be higher, because thriving classic project gives us hope for maybe a classic plus or something in the future. So I am just alarmed by this downward trend mimicking ICC pretty much exactly due to attrition, and it's not really that good to see that so early, but maybe Firelands will save it. More people keep playing and enjoy raiding Firelands, but time will certainly tell with that. Anyway, let's head over to Season of Discovery. So these are the phase breakdowns. This is Phase 1 into Phase 2, and then Phase 2 into Phase 3. Phase 3 ending here at a all-time low of 20,000 up to Phase 4, and then Phase 5. So with Phase 1, it peaked at 496,000 people. I will say this is a little misleading because of one thing. You could start a character in the morning, level it from 1 to 25 in a day, and then go into the raid. I did that on a few of them, and a few of these times right here, I counted as 8 players because I was doing all the classes, doing all the runes, really pumping and grinding and trying to discover everything for you guys and make those awesome rune guides. So that's a little bit skewed, and as we see, when it went from 25 to 40, which was an insane grind, they didn't have any XP boost, none of that. They said it would be alt friendly, and it kind of really wasn't. And Nomergon was up in difficulty from BFD. However, that's why you see it like sort of gradually increase, as people hit that max level. It peaked at 330,000, obviously a drastic drop off from there, but I think it trimmed a lot of the alts, and we just saw a lot of real players. Now, from Nomergon being the shortest phase, so this was only 8 weeks, and it jumped to ST. ST and Phase 3 had a plethora of problems. It was, incursions really drained the soul of people, as well as Sunken Temple was a 20-man raid, as well as it was really difficult and had actual mechanics for every fight, like a real raid. So all of those factors made a perfect swarm of people just giving up and quitting the game. And as you can see, it fell rapidly all the way to the bottom of 20,000. Phase 3 also lasted 14 weeks, but from Phase 3's demise, we got Phase 4, which I think was a great resurgence for the game, and it has held quite steady ever since that. So it started off with Molten Core at 75k, kept going, peaking at 88k in Phase 4. Then we got to Phase 5 with ZG and BWL, where we held that 88k number and pretty much brought it forward up until about now, where we're seeing attrition, as well as we saw Thanksgiving last week. That's what I attributed that to. However, this week really starts to concern me, losing almost 8,000 more players. Obviously, it is holiday season, so there's a lot of traveling, a lot of people doing that. I honestly had to struggle to get my 2 raids going. Raid 2 actually tragically ended last night because we couldn't fill the people. We were forcing too much stuff, and it just imploded on itself. So the SoD Saviors have gone down to 1 raid. We'll probably have 25 to 30 people going forward for our rating and what we are going to see. Hopefully we can keep a loyal 20 at the bare minimum, people there to crank. I hope it goes to 25 to 30 people, but time will tell with that. But we could see AQ cause a massive resurgence. As I said, Descent to Madness is tonight, and I think it'll be really fun, and we can enjoy the new mechanics, the new raid. A lot of hype has been built around it. I think Phase 6 is looking great with all the changes, all the new stuff they have added. I don't really see any I don't see too much the negativity about it, honestly. I think they got it right. However, we'll see with the raid difficulty tonight how hard it's going to be. The last PTR test, apparently they did massive busts to raid HP. Trash mobs in there are quite deadly, so we will have to see how it all plans out. But anyway, guys, that is my analysis for all of the numbers breakdown. I look forward to adding Fresh into this and continuing the series. However, Fresh rating has not started yet, so we really do not know how, we really don't have any raid numbers, but it'll definitely just turn into a weekly numbers breakdown series instead of this whole SoD versus Cata type of stuff. I just kind of went with it from the beginning, and we'll throw Fresh in there and also just sort of analyze the classic number. It'll probably be called Classic Numbers Weekly Breakdown, and we'll go from there. But Anyway, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed it. If you have anything you'd like to add, definitely drop it down below. And until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.